Hey, welcome to another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures. This episode is about healthy hiking and cooking while you're out on a little weekend escape. Exercise and diet are extremely important to health, and walking or hiking especially is useful for back problems, moderate joint problems. It's just a great form of exercise. So there were two separate ways to get down to Sam's Throne. One is through the recreation area, and the other is from the dispersed camping area. And we chose to go down through the dispersed camping area because that's where we were at, and it gave us beautiful valley views the entire hike along that ledge. This hike was actually moderate to difficult because of the height. You had to step on some of the rocks to get up and down, and at the end there was no way that Gracie with her hip dysplasia could make the scramble up to Sam's Throne, and it was a scramble to get up from the valley floor up to the top of Sam's Throne. This hike is about a 2-mile out and back hike, and it's about 1,000 feet of elevation gain and decline in those 2 miles. So that gives you a little bit of a gauge how difficult the trail is. As we went down into the valley, it didn't take us very long to figure out that Sam's Throne was not a round mound as it appears in the videos from the overlook. It actually has a lot of sheer cliffs, it has rock overhangs, and it really is a scramble to get up to the top. from the top is pretty amazing. It's like you're in the center of a kind of a reverse donut, and Sam's Throne is the donut hole. So we hiked back over to the overlook and hiked back up through the recreation area, and then walked through the dispersed camping that was in the recreation area, and we just checked out other people's camp setups, and we're always looking for ideas on ways to make things more fun, new, and engaging when we're out camping. Part of our initiative to be a little bit healthier is to take a freezer with us when we go camping to keep meat frozen rather than warming up as the ice melts in a cooler. And it also allows you a place to keep your leftovers after you have your meal, so you don't have to feel like you must eat everything that you made, because most of the time it's hard to cook when you're camping to cook the right amount. A good freezer is a great asset when you're out in the backcountry. And nowadays they make them so advanced that they don't really require a lot of power to keep things frozen. And I can actually keep this little freezer here operating for a full 48 hours without a recharge. With my Rock Pals, it's like 288 watt hours. And if I need to recharge it, I have the panel. Panel's pretty great because it has an interchangeable plug that will work not only for the Rock Pals unit that I have, but then I can use the same panel with a plug switch it in, plug it into my Jackery, and there we go. And of course, I always take my little backup deal to charge cell phones, cameras, and microphones. And right around that little 12.8 volt meter, you pull that little tab up and you have some USB ports. The plug I'm holding open actually is a backup source to plug into the lights for the rooftop tent. I have an eco-worthy solar panel that I can use to charge my little unit. And I guess if you have weird campers around you, you can just turn that little box around and it looks like you got a 50 cal box just sitting right there with you. Maybe that'll keep them well behaved. It does seem like that messaging actually is becoming a little bit more important in the backcountry. There are some different people that are frequenting the backcountry now in some strange times, thinking that they're survivalists. We were eating our meal later in the evening, and there's a couple guys came by with machetes strapped on their sides, banging against their legs, had to be uncomfortable. And they came up to our campsite and looked at us and took a pair of like limb pruning shears and lopped off a bough at our campsite while they were looking at us, and then they just moved on.
Turn it upside down on top of
For lunch we had sausages and potatoes made in a cast iron skillet. And then for supper, we had shrimp that had been frozen in our freezer with broccoli and some cheese sauce and some pasta. The freezer is what actually made it possible to bring the shrimp along on the trip. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures, and come back for some more.